Eight waste originally came out of Henry Ford's production line. So when Japanese came from the 50s, they actually took those same waste and then called it and incorporated it as part of the Toyota production system. So the eight waste that we typically operate by is we call it downtime.
That's the acronym to remember it.
Downtime is the acronym. So defects. Defects are anything that the customer does not want to pay for. So wrong item being sold, wrong size, wrong color, don't want to pay for that. Torn, worn, damaged, don't want to pay for that. You have overproduction, is when it's effectively is when you have more in your inbox than you do in your outbox. That's effectively it.
So you're taking more orders, but you can't process that order.
That's overproduction.
That's one form. Another might be you just keep producing, but there's no orders coming. So that causes more problems. It's like, just because people are busy doesn't always mean it's a good thing. The idea is from orders coming through, it should flow. That's where your one-piece flow in other areas comes into it.
It's a balance. So I want to make sure that whatever I'm producing is able to sell. But I also don't want to get to the point where I have all these stocks of inventory that's just sitting there, it's not moving. Inventory has to move. And then you have waiting. Waiting is one of those waste where it's complete waste of human talent because the individual is waiting. The product is waiting to move to its final home. The individual customer might be waiting for their product. Who likes
more hidden as well, usually.
Yeah.
This is something that everyone looks at what's actively happening, but not what's happening around it. So you might have some people working frantically in one area, while some other areas people have nothing to do. Yeah. And this balance creates waste.
Yeah. Not using people's time, energy, or talents. This is when you have individuals who ideas aren't appreciated, unable to communicate ways to improve their own work. You see this a lot when you have those type of dictatorial type of managers that come up and say, thank you for your idea, but that's not necessary right at this time. I need you to get back to work.
So a good example here, what the teams did was they had a supervisor, but the ideas and thoughts were run by the teams, the construction team, the stores team, and all that. Yeah. They're using their talents of going, well, let's do this, let's do that. They're actually looking at the ideas. They were actually, you had plenty of time from your couriers sometimes where they weren't doing much work. So they went, well, I can be a part-time stores person as well. Or doesn't mean just because I have one title that I can't do other stuff.
Yeah.
Mix and match.
They got talents, they got skills. Everybody has some hidden talents that can come out. Individuals that didn't have organizational skills now all of a sudden was running the supply departments within this exercise. So it's a matter of finding those hidden talents and allowing the individual to express their own worth in the work that they're actually providing. Then you have transportation. Transportation in the Toyota production system is the unnecessary movement of things. So I'm going to take this hat and I'm going to hand it to Saga. Saga's then going to hand it back to me. Thank you. They're going to hand it back to me, but there was no value that was created in this process. So you spend quality time playing this shell game and moving stuff around. It doesn't necessarily need to be moved.
Could be a layout of the place saying, oh, the piece has to go from here to the other end, then to the other end, and then back here to be checked just to go back there. And then finally over here is the last pot. Well, can you rearrange it that things are in line with each other so you reduce the amount of transport that needs to occur? Yeah. There's not enough transport, it's more waste, it's activity. Because you want to work on either product, and this could be physical products or even it could be software-based stuff, it could be patience. It's something where this is born from manufacturing, but it's universal concept that can be used in any area.
The next one comes out with inventory. Inventory is one of those interesting ones because it's a side effect of overproduction. In fact, all of these wastes could be a side effect of overproduction.
Yeah, but you have inventory in terms of having too many raw materials too, so you have that balance as well.
In this case, we're looking at is the actual storage. So I pick up, so let's take the example the Saga had where I'm picking up that actual item and I'm moving it over here. That's a storage place. Pick that one item up, I stored it here, I'm now moving it to this other piece. It's going to occupy some piece of ground. Then I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna move it again. Every time I pick something up, I need to place it somewhere. It needs to be stored somewhere. So things that we have the kids actually look at is this the right storage mechanism for this? Why do I have two teams that are playing with the same inventory? Can I combine the teams? And now all of a sudden, the inventory is shared, it's moving, and that's what you want the inventory to do. Then you have motion. Whereas transportation is the unnecessary movement of things, motion is the unnecessary movement of people. So you would have seen this in exercise where the couriers were running around, picking up stuff to move it over here, to pick the same stuff to move it over here. They're moving around. What could the people be doing if they weren't moving around so much? It's kind of like the mechanic or the surgeon that is looking for their tool to do their job.
Imagine if you're gardening, every time you need a new tool, you have to go back to your shed. So just bring your stuff that you need with you to reduce the amount of excess motion. You've got the products and things you need, tools to do your work. So how do you reduce that?
And the last one is extra processing, that gold plating. I'm going to give you more than what you actually needed. Why? That's just going to create overproduction on your part, storage on the customer's part. Just give them what they need at the time they need it in your condition of it.
As well as cost more. So say someone is looking for, to example, someone needs to take a flight. You just need to get from A to B. You could take a low-cost airline like Jetstar, or you could be first class on Qantas. If the requirement is just to get from A to B, Jetstar is the best way to do it. It's a flight, will get you from one spot to the other. Going on first class is extra processing, getting extra, wasted resources doing that, when it wasn't required, it wasn't requested for. So it's always important to know what does the customer need, what are their wants, and go with what's required.
Cool. And once again, this acronym is DOWNTIME.
Downtime.
Downtime.